I'm here today to show you the process of turning natural cotton cord into a beautiful dusty rose color using avocado skins and pits. So first grab a really large pot. I'm using a stock pot. You want to fill it halfway or maybe a little bit more with water. Make sure you leave enough room at the top so when you add your cord later, it doesn't overflow. Even though this is a natural dyeing process using no chemicals, I still recommend you do this in a well-ventilated area. So typically you'd have to add a mordant, which is a substance that adheres the color to the fabric in the dyeing process. But the pit of the avocado has tannins, which acts as a mordant. So it keeps the process completely natural. Whenever I eat an avocado, I cut it in half, eat the flesh, and then I clean the pit and the skin really well to remove all the flesh. Then I leave those skins and pits on the counter to dry. Once they're completely dry, I put them in a mason jar. Once I have 5 avocados worth in this jar, then I can do an avocado dye. What you want to do next is add your skins and pits to your pot of water. You want to bring that to a boil and then lower to a simmer and let that simmer for about 1 to 2 hours. The longer you simmer, the more color you will get into the water and hence the more color you will get into your fabric. So I have about 150 meters of single strand 4mm cord here. And while I'm waiting for the dye to be ready, while it's simmering on the stove, I want to soak this in water because it just is going to make that easier for the dye to adhere to these cords. Now you can see how the dye is simmering right on the stove, and it's probably been going for about 20 minutes so far. I'm gonna leave it for at least an hour. This has been simmering for about an hour and a half, and now I'm gonna pull out the skins and the pits. I'm only going to put half of the cord in that I originally soaked, so I soaked 150 meters. So I'm putting in about 75 meters of 4mm cord. I'm just concerned that it might not be enough dye for 150 meters, and we will see how this turns out. I give it a little stir, and then I'm gonna bring the pot back up to a boil and then reduce it to a simmer. And then simmer it until the cord has a color that I'm liking. The cords have been simmering for about an hour and a half. Here's how the cord is looking. I'm going to turn the heat off and I'm going to remove the pot from the stove. Once your cord has cooled, you want to strain it and then rinse it with cold water. Next, you want to hang it to dry, and here's what it looks like when it's done.